Hi, Amy here, and welcome to the 5th episode of Stitch It Pink Flosstube. This is actually take two. Yesterday I filmed and spent the entire day trying to upload to YouTube, and it just was not working. So I decided to cut my losses and try again. So, hello again. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. I have been trying to upload my videos on Wednesdays, so I'm a day late, but that gave me an extra evening of stitching in between my technical frustrations, but that's okay. It's a learning process. So first I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who commented or liked my videos, subscribed, sent me messages. It was very kind, and I've read them all. I'm still responding. But it was just very, very nice, and I had no idea what I was getting into when I started Flosstube, but the thing that I have found the best is just how much just joy and happiness that the community has brought me. So thank you so much. Before I get started, I wanted to mention that if you are in the West North Carolina, North South Carolina, East Tennessee area, Virginia, our local LNS, Thread the Needle Stitchery, is having their grand opening tomorrow on Friday, April 11th. There's going to be a shop sale and some prizes, raffle, things like that. Stacy from Thread the Needle is really wonderful, and I'm excited to go this weekend to the grand opening. I've been a couple times during their soft opening, but it is so nice to have a local needlework shop. We have one called Cross Stitch and Crafts that's about 45 minutes away, and every time I've had the opportunity to visit there, I've really enjoyed it. But I'm not gonna lie, having one a mile down the street is amazing. Let's see, I have a couple FFOs. I have a couple new starts and whips. I have a big project to show, and I have one finish. A little bit of treasure. I got my final bit of my market order, and then I have a great update on Pigs in Space. So let's go ahead and get started. So for my FFOs, it's the year of the FFO. I'm actually gonna run back to last week. There was a design that I got quite a bit of questions about, so I thought I would try to answer them here. And it was this little pin keep pillow egg hunt from Stitching with the Housewives. So I pulled up the original pattern on my iPad so you can see. So it was originally stitched on black, and I decided to stitch it on a lighter color. I don't really care to stitch on dark. So I normally when I change up Stitching with Housewives patterns that were stitched on black, I only have to change the whites most of the time. So they use the black fabric really adds a lot of contrast to their designs, which is awesome. So for mine, I stitched it on a Charles Craft Ada, and it's a printed Ada called Sand. It's white on the back. It's this orange yellow print. This particular fabric also comes in a pink and purple, almost like a cotton candy looking. Are you surprised my iPad's pink? Sort of like a cotton candy print. And then also it comes in a blue and green, which is really pretty for spring things. I actually stitched an angel on it once, and it looked really good. It looked very ethereal. So so that's what the fabric looks like in person. I used the Lori Holt vintage trim, and it's a great coral color. I thought it matched the little rabbit sweater quite perfectly. I think that's Ladybug. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure that's Ladybug. I used all the called for colors except for I changed the color of the basket and the sign to reflect, or not to reflect it, from white to show up. And then I also filled in the egg hunt because it was, it used that negative space in the original pattern. Used a little Lori Holt Be Basic on the back. I really enjoy getting layer cakes. My favorite place to get them from is Fat Quarter Shop. I think layer cakes are great because you get a full range of fabric and or really from the line. And they're 10-inch squares, great for smalls, great for small projects. So this one was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So the next, I have 4 little tarts. So these are things that I stitched previously, and I was showing my husband yesterday, and he came up with the silliest names for them because I said, oh yeah, they're Pinker and Pumpkin charts, and you know, I think they have names, I'm not sure. So I will tell you his names as we go. This one is called Bunny Stew. And it is just a cute little bunny in a basket. I finished it on a Hobby Lobby block with some blue gingham. I'm using gingham as my sort of my coordinating fabric for all of my Easter finishes this year. I didn't put anything on the top of the block like I normally would because I have the Pottery Barn cubbies, which I showed on Instagram, and this as is fits perfectly in the cubbies, and I was able to fill the last few blocks. So this one is done on a lavender Aida, and just pulled colors from my stash. I believe everything is CMC except for the basket, which I think is Weeks Chickpea. So that's Bunny Stew. This one he named the Dipper. So this is another really cute one. I just am such a sucker for the bluebirds. The bluebirds of happiness are probably one of my favorite things to stitch ever. So again, with the gingham backing, this is done in a coaster, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. The next one was, and I believe this was actually done on the blue and green Charles Craft, and I used more of a blue section with it. This one he named Yard Detail. So it's just the spring bluebird with the gingham backing. Just love it. Love these little robin's tummy, or not robin's, well, I do like stitching the robin's tummies as well, the little bluebird's tummies. And then the final one is Hitchhiking Bunny. So cute with her little rabbit cart. So let's talk about this backer. These are coasters. They also fit the Lori Holt stitch cards perfectly. They were just coasters from Hobby Lobby. They were Christmas. They were white. They said like joy, peace, things like that. And I had them in a Ziploc bag with some other small finishing pieces. One of them was red. The red paint rubbed off onto the coaster. So, oh my goodness, excuse me. So I needed to paint them. Couldn't find my white chalk paint, so I had a chalk paint called French Linen. It's like, oh, this will work. It ended up being Millennial Gray, and it was just not the right color for this project. So I had just a craft paint called Wasabi. So I dry brushed the Wasabi over the Linen Gray, and then I dry brushed Antique Gold Rub and Buff. I love Rub and Buff. It's so much fun to use. I ended up using a stencil brush, and it worked perfectly. I'm really, really pleased with the way the coasters look. They're great little finishing pieces. They fit perfectly in the cubbies, and now all 25 cubbies are full. So I can add these to the list of FFOs for the year, which is so great. It's been really nice to have everything, you know, as much as, you know, I have been a process stitcher, I've really enjoyed being able to have all of these beautiful little projects out to enjoy instead of sitting away in a box. So my next finish, or my first only finish, is a chart from Brenda Gervais, Basket Full of Springtime. I had so much fun with this one. I started stitching it and couldn't stop. There were days that I only stitched on this the whole day. And then I got to the end and I didn't like it. So here we go. I really think that it was a matter of just looking at something and then just looking at it too much. So I put it away, actually covered it up, and then I didn't look at it for a couple days. And as soon as I did that, I loved it again. The only thing I still have to do is the little string, the thread that goes from the bunny's hand to the cart. I made a couple changes. So I love the way the chart looks. Everything in the photo, it's so pretty. Colors are beautiful. Everything's great. When in person, I had a couple things that didn't work. Cottage Daisy was the yellow, and it was too close to the fabric, so I was not able to use that. I went with a darker yellow. I think I used is it honeycomb? Or it's not honeybee. It's a classic colorworks. It's a little bit darker than Queen Bee. So I used that one, and then I changed up the flowers to Aunt Marie's Violet, since yellow and purple are complementary colors. I changed the bunny's coat to Cool Azul, and then the flowers I did Raspberry Parfait from Gentle Arts and Cherry Tomato from Classic Colorworks. What was called for was root beer float and chocolate cream pie, and they just look so brown. In the photo they look lavender, but in person it just looked like brown flowers. So I went ahead and changed it to pink, and I'm going to finish this one hopefully in the next couple days and have it up before Easter. So this was a lot of fun. I love stitching the basket. That was a lot of fun. Oh, and chop chives. I changed the green to chop chives. So that is my finish, my fully finished for the week. And I have some whips. I worked on Flossie, Florence Laurel, which is my one strand a day project. You really can't tell a whole lot has been done. So I thought I probably will show that every couple weeks, because then there'll be more, you know, significant progress. But I did stitch on that for a couple days, which was great. And it's coming along nicely. And those MPIs are really, really nice to stitch with. So I had a new start this week. And didn't get much done, but I thought I'd show you. It is Then Sings My Soul by the Proper Stitcher, Annie. And you can see it. It's so pretty. I love this chart because it reminds me of spring. It feels very Pride and Prejudice to me. I have a wall in my house that's sort of like a gallery wall, and it has a lot of like vintage florals. So I think I'm going to add this here. And this also is my mom's favorite hymn. So she loved when Carrie Underwood sang it. And I think my favorite version is Randy Travis, but I really have a soft spot for him. So this is my tiny little progress. So I'm stitching it on 18 count. Just white Aida. I have 10 more rows down to finish that first bit of leaves and borders, so I can start to put the flowers in. These are the colors. They're so pretty. here. Now I subbed out my greens from DMC to Weeks. So my greens might be a little bit darker, but that's Then Sings My Soul. Oh, and the chart is really nice. You know, it's big, it's color, you can see it very well. It's very well designed. So if you haven't tried out one of Annie from the Proper Stitchers charts, I highly recommend them. Okay, so the next is Friendship Garden. It's coming along really well. Here we go. And I explained this one last week, that this is a market chart, and I wanted to, when I saw it, I knew I wanted to stitch it for my girls. I told about how my daughters planned my youngest Sophie's wedding, her sunflower field wedding. So this is my girls in the field of sunflowers. And I've made a lot of changes to color. I changed flowers. I used the sunflowers from Stitching with the Housewives. And here's how far I've gotten. Go. And it says, if I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk in my garden forever. So there is, I think, one more letter and then 2 more lines, and it's finished. I need to do a little bit of back stitching in the flower garden, and I think I'm going to add some beads to Sophie's wedding dress, and then Hannah's dress needs a tie around the waist. So the girls love it. I texted Hannah some pictures and she thought it was really beautiful, and Sophie walked in and she saw it on my desk and she was like, "Oh, Mama!" So she loved it and couldn't get over the details and the colors. And the first thing she saw was Hannah's cowgirl boots, and she was like, "Oh!" And then she saw her boots right there. So she wore light blue, something blue suede cowgirl boots. And so I'm really happy that she loves it too. And this by far is my favorite thing I've ever stitched. So I'm looking forward to finishing that this week and then getting it fully finished. So that's been it's been a great project to do. An easy stitch. I mean, it's big, but it actually, it's gone very fast, which has been really nice. You know. So now I have some Easter things. Okay, so I have a specific Easter palette for the year. Where is, okay, here we go. So the first thing I stitched, and I've already shown this, but this was the mini bunny sampler from Pinker and Pumpkin. And then these are the colors that I used. So I have Blueberry Tart, Morning Glory, Brown Hen. Those are all classic colorworks. Then I have Sophia's Pink from Weeks, Whisper Floss, and then Fancy Green Nancy from Classic Colorworks. So this is sort of my 2025 Easter palette that I'm starting with. And then I did, so last week was Free Stitch Friday from Primrose Cottage. So Love Grows Here is their new chart. And what is so nice is, so if you sign up for their newsletter, you get a free cross stitch pattern once a month. It's the first Thursday of the month is Free Stitch Friday. And about 2 weeks before, they have they'll release a floss kit, and it comes with a kit, some fabric, and then there's like a little special surprise item in the kit. So I got their March floss kit, and it was Cottage Garden, and I only have a few Cottage Gardens, so I thought it'd be a great way to get a few Cottage Garden threads. And it came with a really cute needle binder, so that was really nice. So this was the new, oh, and if you sign up, this is the other thing I heard Lindsay from Primrose Cottage say, if you sign up for the newsletter, she puts this in the newsletter for an entire month. So if you sign up today and then you get your newsletter, you know, next Thursday, this start will still be in the newsletter until the month is up and the new one starts. So that is very, very nice of them. So I decided to stitch mine in my Easter palette. I stitched it on 14 count blue, light blue from Fabric Flair, and I'm using all of the blues and the pinks. I changed the tree to a cherry blossom tree, and this one's really close to being done. I need to add some bees and a sunshine, I believe, and fill in the windows. So this is just as cute as can be. I really love this one, and I'm loving these colors. So then the other night was sort of in between projects and wanted to start something new. Didn't quite know what to start. So I was showing my husband the options, and you know, obviously he's quite the funny bunny. That's why I married him, because he made me laugh. So I showed him the Prairie Schooler chart, the bunnies, and he said, this one right here, let me pull it out of the plastic. He's like, that one looks like Carmilla and Tony Soprano. Are they hiding a body? I, for some reason, cracked up, and I'm like, okay, that's it. That's the one I have to stitch. So I have a tiny, tiny start on Tony Soprano Bunny's head. And I'm doing this one on 14 count pale blue gingham Fabric Flair. So cute. So that was fun, and he always makes me laugh. So then the next one is another new start, and so Audrey from Stitch Stitch Bead is responsible for this. I was watching her over the weekend, and she was talking about a cross stitch chart that she had, and it was like one of the most expensive charts on eBay last year. So she decided to stitch it, and I was like, wait, I have that chart. And then so this one is called Easter Peep by Brenda Gervais. Now, when my mom passed away, I packed up all of her cross stitch stuff, put it in a box, knew we were coming to Tennessee. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to organize it in my new art room in Tennessee. You know, sad girl days, right? Put it all away. So then this winter, trying to end sad girl season, and I go through all of my mom's cross stitch stuff, organize all of her charts, her fabric, you know, combine it into mine. I put our thread together last summer, or the summer before, right after she passed away, and everything else was like, okay, I'm gonna box it up and we'll deal with it then. So I was convinced that she had stitched this one. So when I put all of our things away, or, you know, combined everything, any chart that she had that I had already stitched or that she had already stitched went away. Now I have like a box of all of my stitch charts, and then I have a second box that I keep Brenda Gervais, because she's, you know, really my favorite. All of my stitching with the Housewives and all of my Primrose Cottage. I keep Primrose and Stitching with the Housewives together because they have so many little elements that you can pull those from charts for, you know, like accessories or embellishments, you know, cover buttons, things like that. So I went to go find this because I couldn't find it when I was decorating for Easter. And I keep all my cross stitch separate from the rest of my decorations, and I just could not find it anywhere. So I'm like, well, I guess, you know, maybe she didn't stitch it. So this led me down a whole rabbit hole looking for this design. Because I literally paused Audrey and then tore the place up. Even my daughter walked in to visit on that Sunday afternoon. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm looking for a chick. So she helped me a little bit. We were not successful, but we had a really nice visit. So I'm like, well, I'll just go ahead and stitch it. So this chart is huge. The paper is huge. It's just massive. So you can definitely, you can see it well. By setting up the chart, I realized that my mom had not stitched this because it's a lot bigger than what I had in my mind. And I think I had it confused with this one here. I think I was thinking of that one. So, and I thought that the chick was about the size. It's not. It's going to be quite larger. So this is my very small start on Easter Pete. And I am using the mostly color and cotton. Oh, that's not it. Colors. And Emily from Shady Grove commented and said that they look like sherbet, and she is 100% right. Look at that. They are sherbet colors. They're really pretty. So if you haven't watched Audrey, I'm sorry, if you have, oh, well, Audrey's great too, but if you haven't watched Emily from Shady Grove, you have to just go watch her video. She has a new one out. She releases her videos every couple Wednesdays. She's hysterical. She cracks me up. Like when I watch her, like normally when I watch Flosstube, like I stitch along, but when I watch Emily, I just watch her. Like I just watch her and laugh. Like she is just, oh, she just warms my heart. So Shaker Stitcher, she's great. So I can't wait. I haven't watched her because of all my technical difficulties yesterday. I didn't get a chance to watch her, but I'm really looking forward to that today. So this one was Easter Pete. And my next new start is a plum street called Tomato Hill. And this is another market chart. And I had planned on starting this closer to summer. However, when I originally saw this chart, it was, I think it was through the something Guild of the Rockies. It's like an embroidery guild or needlework guild. And I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. There was just something about this chart which I thought was so sweet. Loved it so very much. So I couldn't wait to start it. So I have a little start. And I have changed the colors up a little bit. And they're quite different from my normal, like, bright and pink and tropical colors. I just love them, though. Look at these. They're so rich and beautiful. So these are the tomato colors in here. And this dark is, I think, called Bandana. Yes. And that's to represent purple tomatoes because we grow purple tomatoes, and they are my daughter Hannah's favorites. And I love the yellow tomatoes, and oh my gosh, is there anything better than a homegrown tomato? So I'm really loving Tomato Hill. Okay, so those are all my small project or smaller projects and news projects. So now let's talk about a daily reminder. So I hope everyone saw and has joined in stitching a daily reminder from Brenda Gervais from With Thy Needle and Thread. This was Tara Sullivan, Silly Stitch's birthday start. And I had purchased this chart and knew I wanted to stitch it for a very specific reason, and was really excited to get started. So the very specific reason is that tiny rabbit. So my mom was a painter, and in the 80s she took toll painting classes, and when I was real little I got to go, and I was her little assistant, and I'd go with my my little watercolor books and my Holly Hobby bag, and I would sit and paint along with the big girls, and it was very, very fun. I think it probably shaped me as a person quite a bit. So whenever she would paint anything, I would, like when I was real little, she would always put a bunny in it for me because I thought they were adorable. And this continued all the way, you know, until the end. So a couple years ago, her church did one of those like old-fashioned church cookbooks, and my mom was the person who painted the cover, and it's not the greatest because this is a Xerox copy, but this was the painting that she did for the cookbook. And that's the Chesapeake Bay where we lived in Annapolis, Maryland. This is my dad's boat. It was named the Jennifer Joe and all. And so she was sending me pictures along the way when she was working on the cookbook. And then towards the end, I was like, Mom, where is the bunny? And she's like, look closer. And she put a bunny right there on the sidewalk of the church. So when I saw this chart with this tiny rabbit in the front of the garden, I was like, that's it, I gotta stitch this one. I love it. So I got all the called for, got everything prepared, got all the called for threads, and I dyed a piece of fabric. So I knew I wasn't going to stitch it on the dark green, the boreal, but I wanted, so I dyed fabric. It's like this army green, kind of khaki, you know, little blue in there. Got all my fabric, laid everything out. The floss was going to look good. I had one color. I was going to have to change, which is taupe. Going great. Friday night, you know, 2 days before Tara's birthday, I was like, you know, it's a rainy day. I'm going to get this started. Everything sat out. Put on my serial killer documentary, which my daughters, I tend to watch true crime, and it's always like a 20-year-old girl is meeting her untimely demise. And then I get all kinds of upset, and then I call them the next day, and they're like, Mom, stop watching these shows. So I have to be careful about the amount of true crime I watch. But I was all set up, you know, ready to go. Cold Coke Zero, Gone Girls are on, put it all down, and I hate it. Now, I don't say hate very often. We were raised, you don't say hate. I raised my girls, you don't say hate. You can hate two things, the Yankees and the devil. I did not like it. And I was so surprised because I love everyone's. They're all so pretty. Like all the pictures I've seen, the colors, if you look at the color palette, it's lovely. But this, I was like, I don't like this. So I think the problem is where I have envisioned in hanging this is in my bedroom. In my bedroom, I want to do like a sampler wall or a cross stitch wall. I have Lily Pulitzer sheets. So our bedroom is pretty tropical. We have like a Monstero leaf chair, and I have like a bamboo rattan bed frame that, you know, was from Pier 1 before they went out of business, and we spray painted it turquoise. I think that was the problem. So I decided, okay, I'm going to change all the colors. Now I'll show you my inspiration with what I've already done for my bedroom, and you can see where I'm going with it. So this right here is from Pinker and Pumpkin. It's one of her Valentine's Day houses. So this is done with Color and Cotton Fiesta. That's the main color of the house. So I really, and this is 14 count Kimberly's Peach from Fabric Flair. And then the next one was from Little Robin Designs. It's like a literary quotes chart. And I love you from Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy. And then the last one is a Blackbird sampler that I did for Valentine's Day this year. And this is really like the main color palette. This is the color of all of our bedding, and I did our initials for Brett and Amy. There's the G for our last name. I put 1994. That's the year we met and started dating in the 10th grade. I didn't even put our wedding anniversary. I didn't even think to. I just immediately thought 1994. And so this is really like the colors I want. So I started pulling colors, and I started pulling mostly color and cotton at first because they're like the brightest, boldest colors we have. Now yesterday I rambled on for a half an hour about this, and it was terrible. I went back and watched it and I was like, oh, thank goodness this video didn't upload. I ended up frogging a ton last night of colors I didn't like, because in my ramblings, I showed you everything I didn't like. I was super fussy. I was super negative, all of it. So last night, I took out any color I didn't like. We're going to skip a lot of the negative, and we're going to go straight to the positive. So I'm a little all over the place with this design because I'm auditioning colors pretty much. This is my daily reminder, and it is stitched on 14 count fabric flare, and this is Kimberly's gingham, pink gingham. So the blue alphabet is Delft blue from Color and Cotton. Now the thing about, let me show you the threads. This is what I have so far. So the thing about Color and Cotton is they're beautiful, just beautiful threads. They go out of print, I guess you could say. They have a active and inactive spreadsheet on their website, which is really helpful. So I was concerned about two things. Majority of my Color and Cotton I bought at Patch Quarter Shop a couple years ago when they were still carrying the floss. And for example, my all-time favorite thread in the entire world is this magenta. It's old magenta. This is the new version of it. So if you're to order magenta from the Color and Cotton website, this is what you get now. It's just different. It's darker. The older is variegated. Now, very excited because I found from Cottage Garden Threads a color called Ruby. This is about as close as you're going to get to old magenta. So I'm going to buy like 20 of these. I'm so excited about that. So I use Delft blue because I have two skeins of Delft blue, and I figured out for the alphabet I was going to need just a little more than one skein, so I wanted to make sure that I had two of the same. For the border, I ended up using this light pink that's called Taffy that I used in the strawberries, and I did that because I knew, again, I was going to need just like, I would have like one strand. I was playing thread chicken pretty much with two skeins of taffy, but I started to stitch the taffy and I didn't like it. So that's when I found the Ruby from Cottage Garden Threads. The fence, you can see where I frogged it. Really Tealy is the fourth blue that I've used. I'm happy with Really Tealy. I went through a couple different colors. One was called Hyacinth, one was called Buttermints, and then Stacy from Thread the Needle Stitchery and I found a really cool color called Oyster from Weeks, and we thought that was it. It didn't look good once we got it on there. So this right here is Jade and I think Seafoam. The house is Fiesta. New magenta is the roof. I think I'm okay with it now. I don't know. The roof, we'll see. So anyway, I love it now. I didn't before, but I really love it now. The tree, I frogged 3 times. I went back and forth over and over again with the colors I wanted, and I think I was just stuck on like these colors right here. And this right here is really what I want to do. These greens. So this is called Mistletoe from Gentle Arts. And so I'm waiting to get the mistletoe, and then the light. So that's mistletoe, and then that is Frozen Margarita from Color and Cotton. So I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to get those greens to do that. But this is my daily reminder. So I hope everybody likes it. It's very me. I asked my husband, I was like, well, I don't know, what do you think? And he said that he really liked the colors, and he said it was very vibrant and it reminded him of me. So that was a nice compliment. And so he could see what I was going for there. So that's all of my stitching for the week, which was a lot. Got a lot of stitching done, which is really nice. Okay, a little bit of treasure, and then I'll give you a little pigs in space update. So a couple things. I went to Hobby Lobby to pick up something, and I grabbed some paper flowers that I thought these would be really nice for some Easter finishes. Just something a little bit different. Love the colors. Thought they look nice with my Easter palette. And then I was at a thrift store. I grabbed this for 99 cents. Never done anything like this before. It is a plastic needle type needlecraft nativity, and you know, it comes with everything. I think we'll end up using Lori Holt's chunky yarn, but every Christmas my girls and I, we have like a ornament day where we make ornaments, so I thought this one might be fun to do, especially Hannah, who is really like you know, the builder. I think she might enjoy doing that. And then I got my last few bits from Market came in. They were a little bit delayed, but that's okay. I got Hop into Spring. Love the little birds. Again, those sweet little bluebirds. I got the new Classic Colorworks colors, and then these are actually the new colors plus 2 complementary colors for the chart. So it's Copper Penny, Sparkling Rose, Onion Skin, Green Tea, and Apple Cider. So those are very pretty spring colors. And then the last chart is Peace on Earth. It's a Winter Quaker from Lila's Studio, and I got this to stitch the center. I think the center is so gorgeous with the ice skaters and the village and the horse and the cart, all of it. It's so pretty. But then as I got the chart and I started looking, my goodness, there are so many adorable little details and little like polar bears and squirrels, a hedgehog, so much little things. It's like, I think you could do an entire tree, like a feather tree, out of these little woodland creatures. So I just love that. So excited. And then the last thing was my April Lori Holt Fat Quarter Bundle. So this has been great this year. I'm loving getting these. I'm so glad I joined the club. That's all the stitching. Little life update. My sweet Sophie Sunshine was cleared by the doctor from her concussion. So thank you so much for all of those prayers and well wishes, and just thinking of her. So she is doing her slow return to play, and it's going well. So fingers crossed she'll get to actually play this weekend in her game. She's so happy. It's like that whole beautiful sweaty glow has returned to her face. So also in great news, this weekend this week she was awarded a new scholarship. One of the local women's groups in our town wanted to give an art student a scholarship. So she was the recipient, and she went and gave a speech and thanking them. And oh my gosh, she looks so pretty. I got to meet her afterwards. We went and had lunch. Oh, she looked so pretty. She wore this long white dress, was covered in green and yellow flowers, and she wore her little white ballet flats and looked like a princess. So I was very proud of her for that. She's doing a great job. Let's see, Hannah down in Florida, doing great. She's getting towards the last couple weeks of school. They finish at the end of April, and her sorority is doing their semi-formal this weekend. And I'm not exactly 100% sure why, but their semi-formal has been turned into a semi-informal. So they're wearing, instead of like formal floor-length gowns, they're wearing more like homecoming dresses, and it's going to be really fun. It's at a roller rink, and they've been painting their big wooden sorority letters this week, and I think the theme is like decades maybe. So I think it's like 70s, 80s, 90s, Y2K. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Letters look amazing. Her dress, it's so cute. It's very like a little more out of character for what she normally wears. It's pink. Maybe I traumatized her all these years. It's pink, it's sequins, it's shorts, V-neck, long sleeve. Oh, so cute. So she loves it. Pigs in Space. Pigs in Space is a go. So if you don't know, or if you haven't been following, my youngest and I planned a day trip to Disney World, which is 9 hours and 45 minutes, because we would like to go see the Muppets 3D show before it closes forever. So for weeks, we have been plotting this and planning this trip, and her husband's on board, my husband, her daddy, is on board. Hannah's gonna meet us. We're all going. We are so excited. We're having just the best time planning everything. My girls love Disney bounding, so we're all Disney bounding. There have been some things that have been shot down, and then there's been some things that have been approved. So last summer, she went on her honeymoon at Disney World, and she set up an entire week of Disney bounding for her and her husband, and he didn't really know. And really, all she did was have him wear like a t-shirt or polo shirt that was like the right color. And then about halfway through the week, he kind of caught on. So it was great, but he was fine. She's happy, he's happy. So we have like Piggy and Kermit looks. She's doing like Rey and Kylo Ren for Star Wars. My whole family has been majorly into Star Wars lately, which is so fun for them. She's gonna do like Rescue Rangers and Anna and Kristoff from Frozen, and then Mary Poppins and Bert from Mary Poppins. And I'm working on Carl and Ellie and Pink Cinderella, and it's just gonna be so much fun. We're letting the boys pick all of our meals. You know, they can be in charge of that. And then Hannah's gonna work on her outfits once she gets through exams. It's just been so much fun. We my husband and I finished 1923. Oh, so good. Now, there are parts that are so disturbing I never want to watch again. If I ever see Timothy Dalton again, it'll be too soon. But Harrison Ford, I don't want to give anything away, but the last thing he said, the last episode, the second season, the last thing he said on the show just melted me. Like, it is better than anything Mr. Darcy has ever said. And I was just like, oh, like if I didn't love him before, now, oh my gosh. You know, he's a cross stitcher too. He actually cross stitched. it was really good. It's probably my favorite of all the Yellowstone shows, and I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but I believe there's going to be a spin-off that takes place in 20 more years. So it was just really good. Really, really enjoyed it. So now we're looking for a new show. It might be Mobland. We haven't decided yet. Let's see what else this week. I am very excited to watch more lacrosse. I've missed it very much. And so that'll be great. I hope that she continues to feel well, stays healthy, all the girls stay healthy. And then I've had a lot of fun just, stitching, decorating for Easter, and I'm hoping we've had some rain. It's a pretty rainy day here today, but just enjoying the spring and the flowers. And we're gonna build a Wizard of Oz fairy garden for fun. So hopefully I'll get that done this week, and then just keep stitching. I'm gonna try not to make any plans, because as soon as I say I'm gonna stitch this, I don't do it. But hopefully this video will upload. Hopefully my technical difficulties are over, and I hope everyone has a great week. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about what I've been up to. I hope I've been, slightly entertaining, and that all is well. So have a great week, and I will see you next week. All right, bye-bye.